Hello, Gender Tweakers. This is Isla. On this week, we're talking about personal relationships. And for me, personal relationships have been somewhat problematic. Back when I've lived most of my life as a guy, and back when I was living as a guy, I never really fit in. That just wasn't who I was. And I had very few real male friends, and most of my friends, especially my best friends, were women. And this has been true pretty much my whole life. As a teenager and as a young adult, I tried to get into love relationships with women, and no one ever took me seriously. When I finally did get married, I married someone who was a personal friend. And as friends, we eventually fell in love with each other. And my marriage only ended this past September because I had transitioned so much, and my ex didn't want to be married to a woman, and she couldn't take the changes she saw in me. I was no longer the person that she had married all those years ago. So, my life today is something that is sort of a real gift for me, because I have so many people now who accept me as a woman, who know me as I am. Especially at work, a lot of my coworkers there have seen me transition, and like I said, most of the people that I know there are female, and those who are my friends are female, and they've pretty much applauded the changes that they've seen in me. They've told me how much happier that I've become now that I've made these changes. A lot of times when I go into the workshop to pick up a client, they're complimenting me about how I look, and so I've got a real section of people who are cheering me on and who are really positive influences in my life. On the other hand, I've got people who just can't deal with the changes. Most of my life, I've had an older cousin that we've always corresponded or talked to each other on the telephone, especially in all the years I was married. My cousin would always call me up, and we'd have long conversations and talk about a lot of different things. And it was really kind of a rewarding two-way relationship. But when I finally came out to my cousin, because over the years he's become more and more religious and more conservative, I did not really expect the best reception. And as it's turned out, he no longer wants to talk to me. This is just too much for him. And I really kind of expected more out of him. I'm really disappointed, especially with the history that we've had. Another relationship where there's been trouble is the fact that my sister, who was only 13 months younger than me, when we were both children, we were often mistaken for twins. And when we weren't fighting as children, we were really close playmates to each other. And the fact now that I have transitioned, she can't deal with that either. She's having a really hard time with it. And I haven't heard anything from her. She has contacted my ex on Facebook, and try to lift her up and pat her on the back and things like that, but she has nothing to do with me. So since my divorce, I've dated several guys already, and I've had some generally very good experiences. I only had one date that was pretty scary. And because I tell tell them before I go out with them that I'm trans, they already know what they're getting themselves involved with. And so far, it's been pretty good. Yeah. I'm learning more about myself in the process. I'm learning who I really am inside. I'm just receiving confirmation that I'm making the right choices as far as being me and deciding to do what I do to try to support myself. Since I consider myself pansexual, I am open to dating other people who are trans or androgynous or intersex or lesbian. I am currently writing someone who is lesbian, and she knows my status. We just have a whole lot in common, and she's in a very busy season right now with her work life. But I'm like really touched with the kind of correspondence that we write each other. So I think that she's definitely a possibility for me. So I'm pretty much open right now to whatever comes my way. I'm not in a big hurry to find a new relationship. I'm still trying to heal from the end of my last one, and I'm still learning about myself and finding that, yeah, I can enjoy life just by being me, which is truly a great gift, and I'm very grateful for it. And so that's about really all that I have to say about the topic. I've wrestled back and forth about more things I could have talked about, but I've decided for right now, this is where I'm going to leave it. So until next week, Gender Tweakers, I wish you well, I wish you happiness, and take care. Bye.